By now, it's been a month or two since the live action Last Airbender show was released, and just like everyone else, I completely forgot about it. Based on the response online, the show is fine. It's better than the horrible movie, but that's not saying much.
My name is Ang, and I'm the Avatar.
No thoughts. Attitude.
It forgets about fleshing out its characters and skips major plot points in the series, causing the overall show to be forgettable, and you are better off watching the animated series. Despite the less than favorable response, Netflix renewed the series for 2 more seasons. With this success, we're going to get more forgettable live action adaptations. It's funny, the best outcome for these live action adaptations is just a forgettable series, and the worst outcome is the most horrible thing you ever saw in your life. Oh, hey there, Milan.
It doesn't change anything about the original movie's story, like we thought and prayed and hoped it would based on the trailers. All it does is subtract.
Disney, the company that started this whole mess, and filmed near a concentration camp.
Oh boy!
Ignore all that. Look at the box office, though. How can the CEOs not say yes to them? Live action adaptations are a big success for them. You just have to ignore a few red flags. These red flags include spending a shit ton just to make it, losing current and potential future customers by making a movie that overall hurts your reputation, canceling new and existing original projects just to fund it, forcing creative directors to make projects that lack any emotion at all, no guaranteed profits at all, and overall hurting the movie industry and leading it to its eventual bankruptcy. If you ignore all those red flags, then you have no problem, and the CEOs have ignored every red flag so far. We are still getting a live action Mulan, a live action How to Train Your Dragon, a live action Mufasa, a live action Leo and Stitch, and the list goes on and on. Everything that's animated needs to have a live action adaptation. How else can we get the general audience sweet cash? During the Oscars, there was a great speech by Jefferson.
I understand that this is a risk-averse industry. I get it. But $200 million movies are also a risk, you know? And it doesn't always work out, but you take the risk anyway. And instead of making one $200 million movie, try making 20 $10 million movies.
He's right. CEOs are so afraid to take risks with new creative projects and rather spend a shit ton rebooting their existing IP. That is why this live action adaptation trend is so popular with CEOs. Why hire writers to write a new creative script when the script is already made? Why hire directors with a creative vision when the creative vision is already made? Why take a risk making movies when the movie is already made for you?
I mean, you never really think they're gonna redo The Lion King. I mean, like,
Yeah, no.
you know, like, I really didn't.
They will take any shortcut to make a quick buck. Why do you think AI is so popular with them? Despite every creative person in the world telling them that it would destroy the industry. They expect general audience to mindlessly watch anything they put on screen, no matter the quality. However, it's not working. 2023 was the first year in a long time Disney didn't cross $1 billion. And that year, there was a live action adaptation, The Little Mermaid. And when compared to other live action adaptation, it didn't do so well. And just like Avatar The Last Airbender live action, The Little Mermaid live action is just fine. General audience don't want fun anymore. If you're raising prices for tickets and having a bunch of streaming services, they want something that excites them and makes them tell their friends about it. Another problem with live action remakes, they are very expensive to make. Avatar The Last Airbender live action is estimated to cost $120 million. Now let's compare it to this year's Oscar winner, The Boy and the Heron. Oh look, it's cheaper. Now let's look at a live action movie, Mulan. It's estimated to be $200 million. Now let's compare it to Spider-Verse. We could have 2 Spider-Verse movies with Mulan's budget, and I recommend you playing this game at home, but you get the point. Live action is expensive. Why do you think the live action Clone Wars moments in Ahsoka were in a sandstorm? That's not saying no media can transfer over to a new media. Successfully, books and comics have transferred into movies and TV shows all the time with great success. Most recently, we're starting to get amazing TV shows based on video games. How come video games, books, and comics are finding great success adapting to movies and TV shows, while live action animated adaptations are not? It's simple because video games, books, and comics have a lot of source material to pull from. For comics, you have a lot of different issues you can pull to make your own movie or TV show. For books, you have a lot of chapters you can adapt into your own movie or TV show. Nowadays, video games are 100 hours plus just to finish. That is a shit ton of material you can use to adapt into your own movie or TV show. While the live action animated adaptations don't have a lot, they have the movie or TV show to pull from, but that's it. There's no other source you can use to flesh out the material. So you have two options: either you add your own material or you make a beat by beat remake. Let's go with option one. They always add something we all hate, like the live action Mulan, where Disney added she was always better than everyone else from birth. She never had to use her brain or work hard to become the best soldier, an idea that ruined the entire film. Now let's go with option two, where you copy and paste a whole movie, but this time it's live action. With this option, we get a movie like the live action Lion King, a movie that lacks a soul and bores you to death because you have already seen a better version. So why make these live action animated adaptations if there's no way to make a good movie or TV show?
We've got to have money.
Despite all this, the number one live action adaptation that I keep seeing posted is a live action Spider Verse movie. You think you want this, but you really don't. You want something that captures the same experience you had watching Spider Verse for the first time. No matter what the budget is or infinite amount of time, live action will never capture that experience. There will be always something missing. The action is wooden, the script is bad, the CGI is shit. They skip major plot points, they add useless plot points, and the list goes on and on. How many more live action adaptations do we need until you learn this, old man? This live action trend is just the latest way for CEOs to make a quick buck. You guys remember when the first Avatar came out and it made a shit ton of money? Right after that movie, it felt like every movie needed to have a 3D option that cost more than the 2D option. They even made this stupid product, trying to make the general audience think 3D is the future. It was working for a bit, but there was a big problem. To make this plan work, every movie needed to have a 3D option, and they started to get lazy, leading to barely any differences between a 2D or a 3D option, leading general audience to ask the question, why would I pay more money for the same experience? The same thing is happening with live action adaptations. They have a movie that has a groundbreaking success, and now every animated movie needs to have a live action adaptation. But the big difference between a 3D and this current live action trend, you're paying for a worse experience. Pick any live action adaptation in the past couple of years and watch the animated version. It's night and day which version is better. General audience are slowly realizing that and are asking the question, why would I pay for a worse experience? Which leads to less box office for the companies. And I think they know this trend is coming to an end, causing them to announce projects left and right, hoping they can get enough money before this whole trend dies. This live action adaptation trend is holding us back and killing the industry, and it's time for all of us to let it go. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to support me or Wordy, consider joining our Patreon. Either way, thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.